You never know what someone's carrying. Some battles stay silent. Even when you're not. You showed up today. Even if it was hard. Even if it hurt. Even if you're tired. You still showed up. That matters. More than you think. More than you feel. More than you believe. Right now, you learn to smile. When you didn't want to, you learn to nod. When you were breaking, inside, nobody noticed. Or maybe nobody knew how to ask. So you stayed quiet. Too quiet. You told yourself, I'll be fine. I'll get through it. Just one more day. Just one more. But those days started stacking up. Heavier. Slower. Louder. Your mind got noisy. Even in silence. Especially in silence. That's when it hits. The hardest. You're not weak. For feeling this way. You're human. And humans feel everything. Some just hide it better. Some bury it deeper. Some carry it longer than they should. Alone. You didn't want to be a burden. So you became your own weight. To carry, that's exhausting. That's heavy. That's real. And it's okay to admit that. You don't need to fix everything right now. You just need to keep going 1 mile at a time, 1 breath at a time, 1 moment at a time. That's enough for today. You made it this far. Don't forget that. You survived things that tried to break you. And you're still here? Still moving. Still breathing. Still pushing. Even if slowly, you're still going. That's strength, not weakness. Strength looks different. When you're hurting, but it's still there. Some nights feel heavier than others. Some thoughts hit harder. And sometimes you don't know why. It just shows up out of nowhere and sits with you. You didn't ask for it. You didn't want it. But there it is. Again. Loud as ever. And you fight it. Quietly. Internally. Without anyone knowing. What it takes just to exist. Just to breathe. Just to keep going. That's a fight. Every day. You don't get credit for that fight. But it counts. It always counted. It always will. Some people don't want to die. They just want the pain to stop. and that's different. That matters. Because pain can change. Pain can move. Pain can heal. Even if slowly. Even if quietly. Even if it takes time. More time. Than you want. You're allowed to take that time. You're allowed to not be okay. Today, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to smile. For anyone. Right now, just be here. Just exist. Just ride. That's enough. Tonight, some stops mean more than they look. Some places hold memories you can't explain. This isn't just gas. This isn't just a stop. This is something else. Something deeper. Something personal. You don't always talk about it. But you feel it? Every time you come here, keep moving. Keep going. Even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Keep going. Routine becomes ritual. When someone's gone, when memories stay, but they don't. Some habits never leave you. Even when they're gone, they stay. With you, you walk in like you always did. Like nothing changed. But everything did. Everything. And for a moment, it feels familiar. It feels close. It feels like they're still here. Just for a second. Just long enough to remember some memories don't fade. They follow you. Quietly. Everywhere. You don't talk about them. But you feel them. In moments like this, in routines, that became something more. Something sacred. Something you carry without saying a word. You just do it. Every time, the same way. Like muscle memory. But it's more than that. It's connection. It's love. Still moving. Even after loss. Even after everything. Because love doesn't end. It just changes shape, form, direction. But it stays right here with you always. No matter what. No matter how much time passes. It's still there. In the smallest things. In the quietest moments. In habits. That never left. And never will. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. You just feel it. And that's enough. That's always been enough. Even when it hurts. Even when it's heavy. Even when it hits. Out of nowhere. You carry it. Because it matters. Because they mattered. because they still do. Right now, in this moment, you feel it again? Clear as day. Like nothing changed. Even though everything did. And then you step back out into reality. Holding something that means more than it looks. 4 iced coffees. Every time, just like before. You used to bring these to him without spilling a drop, riding careful, focused, because it mattered, because he mattered. And now, you carry them. For both of you. Same care. Same focus. Same intention. Because that love didn't go anywhere. It just changed direction. And now it rides with you. Every mile. Every stop. Every moment. You don't say it out loud. But it's there. In everything you do. Even now, as you load them up, carefully. Like you always did. Like you always will. Because some things don't change. And maybe they're not supposed to. Maybe that's how we keep them with us. Not by holding on, but by carrying forward everything they gave us. Everything they were. Everything they meant. You feel it. Right here. In this moment. As you put it all back together. Helmet on. Back on the bike. Relight the cigar. Take a breath. You're still here. Still moving. Still carrying it. And somehow, still going. Engine starts. Back into the night. Back into the ride. Back into the miles. Every mile is for him. Every ride keeps him with you, not behind you, not gone, but with you in every mile you ride. You kept going, even when it felt pointless, even when nothing made sense. You still moved forward. That counts. More than you think. Because some days, just getting up is the hardest thing. You'll do, and nobody sees that. Nobody hears it. Nobody feels it. Except you. And that weight gets heavy. Real heavy. To the point where you question everything? Your worth. Your purpose. Your place in this world. And sometimes, it gets quiet. Too quiet. That kind of quiet is dangerous. Because that's when those thoughts creep in. Slow at first, then louder, more convincing, more persistent, until they feel real, until they feel true. Like maybe the world would be better without you. Like maybe you're just in the way. Like maybe you're too much. Or not enough. At the same time, and that thought, that one right there, it's a lie. It feels real. But it's not truth. It's pain talking. Pain gets loud. When it's ignored, pain gets convincing. When it's buried, and sometimes you don't even realize how deep it went until it shows up all at once and hits you out of nowhere. That's why it matters to check on people, even the strong ones, especially the strong ones, because they carry the most and say the least. They smile. They show up. They handle everything. And then go home to fight alone. That's the part nobody sees. The late nights. The racing thoughts. The quiet tears. The empty feeling that doesn't go away. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try to outrun it or ignore it, it finds you in the quiet, in the stillness, in the moments you thought you were okay. That's how it works. It waits until you slow down, until you're alone, until you feel it all at once. And when it hits hard. Hard enough to make you question if you can keep going, if you even want to And that's where people get lost. In that moment between feeling and deciding. That space right there is dangerous because it feels final. But it's not. It only feels that way because the pain is loud. Louder than everything else. Louder than logic. Louder than truth. But that moment doesn't last forever. Even if it feels like it. It passes. Slowly. Quietly. But it passes. And if you can just hold on a little longer, just a little longer, you give yourself another chance to feel something else, something lighter, something different. Even if it's small, even if it's brief, it's still something, and that matters. Because it proves that things can change. That feelings move. That pain shifts. Even when it feels stuck. You're not stuck. You're just in a moment. A hard one. A heavy one. But still just a moment. And moments pass. Even the darkest ones. Even the hardest ones. They pass. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need all the answers. Right now, you just need to stay, to breathe, to exist through it. Because getting through is winning. even if it doesn't feel like it, even if no one sees it, even if no one says it. It still counts. It always counted. It always will. And if you're here right now, watching this, listening to this, still breathing, then you haven't lost. You're still in it. Still fighting. Still here. And that means something. More than you realize. More than you feel. More than you believe. Right now, there's another side to this. One people don't talk about. The ones left behind. The ones still here. Trying to understand. Trying to process. Trying to survive. After everything changes. In a single moment. A moment that doesn't go away. No matter how much time passes. No matter how much you try to move forward, it stays with you. In ways you can't explain. In ways you don't expect. It changes everything. The way you think. The way you feel. The way you see the world. Nothing is the same after that night. And you carry it. Every single day. Some days it's quiet. Some days it's loud. But it's always there. In the background, waiting. And sometimes it hits you. Out of nowhere. A memory. A thought. A moment. That brings it all back. Like it just happened. And you're right there again. Feeling it all. All over again. That kind of pain. It changes you. It reshapes you. It forces you to see things differently. And sometimes it breaks you. For a while. Longer than you expected. Longer than you wanted. You try to keep it together. You try to stay strong. For everyone else. But inside, you're falling apart. And no one sees it. No one hears it. No one knows how bad it got. How heavy it felt. How close you were to not being here anymore. That's the part. People don't see the battles. You fought alone. The nights. You didn't think you'd make it through. But somehow, you did. Somehow. You're still here. And maybe you don't understand. How? Or why? But you are right here, right now, still breathing, still moving, still going. That's not nothing. That's everything. Because you had reasons to give up. Real reasons. Heavy reasons. And you didn't. Or maybe you tried, and you're still here anyway. And that means something. That means there's still more. For you. You didn't stay by accident. Something in you chose to keep going. Even when it was hard. Even when it didn't make sense. You kept moving. That part of you is still there. It didn't leave. It didn't disappear. It just got quiet. Under all the weight, under all the pain, but it's still there. Waiting for you to hear it again. And maybe you're starting to. Right now, in this moment, because healing doesn't look like people think. It's not clean. It's not straight. It's messy. It loops back. It hits you again. When you thought you were okay. But that doesn't mean you're not healing. It means you're just human. Feeling something real. Something deep. Something that mattered. And still matters. That kind of love doesn't disappear. It becomes something else. Something you carry. Something that drives you forward. Even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Because now, you understand something most people don't. How fragile this is. How fast it can change. How important it is to be here. Right now. Even on the hard days. Even on the heavy ones. Because those days, they don't define you. They shape you. They build something inside you that didn't exist before. Strength. Perspective. Understanding. And maybe purpose. Because what you went through, what you survived, what you're still carrying, it can help someone else who feels the same way, who's in that moment right now, where everything feels heavy, where everything feels dark, where they don't know if they can keep going. Your story might be the thing that helps them stay just a little longer. You see things differently now. Not because you wanted to, but because you had to. Life forced your eyes open. In a way, most people never experience. You learned how fast everything can change. How one moment can rewrite everything. And once you know that, you can't unlearn it. You carry that awareness into every day, into every interaction, into every mile. Because now you know. People are fighting things you can't see. Just like you were. Just like you still do. And maybe that's why you move differently now? More aware. More patient. More understanding. Because you've been there. In that place where everything felt too heavy. Where everything felt like too much. And you know how real that feels. So now, you show up differently. Not perfect, but present. Not fixed, but aware. And that matters. More than you realize. Because someone out there is in that moment right now. That same place you once were, and they don't know if they can make it through. But maybe something like this reaches them at the right time, in the right moment, and slows them down just enough to stay just a little longer. And sometimes that's all it takes. A pause. A breath. A moment. To not go through with it. And that moment can change everything. Just like before. But this time, in a different direction. A better one. A stronger one. One that keeps them here. Just like you. You didn't come this far just to stop here. Even if it feels like it. Even if your mind says otherwise. You've already proven you can make it through things you thought would break you. And yeah, some of it did. But not completely. Not enough to end you. Because you're still here. Still moving forward. Even if slowly. Even if quietly. Progress doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be real. And this, right here, this moment, is real. You being here. Still breathing. Still watching. Still listening. That's real. And it matters. More than your mind is telling you. Right now, Because your mind isn't always telling the truth. Sometimes it's just echoing pain, repeating it over and over until it sounds like fact. But it's not. It's just loud. And loud doesn't mean true. That's something you start to learn the longer you stay. The longer you fight, the longer you keep going, you start to separate what you feel from what is real. And that space, that awareness, that pause, it can save you more than once. Because now, you don't react the same. You don't spiral the same. You catch it sooner. Or at least, you try to. And that effort, that awareness, that fight, it matters. Even on the days you don't feel it. Even on the days you question everything. Because those days don't erase your progress. They test it. And you're still here? Which means you passed more than you think. You made it through. More than you give yourself credit for. And now, you're here. In this moment, still riding, still moving, still choosing forward. And sometimes, that's all it takes. Not a big breakthrough. Not a perfect answer. Just one decision. To keep going. One more mile. One more moment. One more breath. And then another. and another, until you look back and realize you made it further than you thought you would. And right here, right now, you're still on the road. Still moving. Still here. And that means you're not done. Not yet. Not even close. There's still road ahead. Still miles to ride. Still moments to live. Even if you can't see them yet, they're there. Waiting for you. Sometimes you don't realize you made a wrong turn until you're already on it. Moving forward. Thinking it's the right way. Because it felt right. At the time, that's how it happens. Slowly, quietly, without you noticing, until something feels off. Until something doesn't sit right. And then you see it clear as day. This isn't it. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. And in that moment, you have a choice. Keep going. Further down the wrong road. Or stop. Turn around and go back. That's not failure. That's awareness. That's growth. That's choosing differently. When you know better, and life works the same way, sometimes you end up in a place you never meant to be. Mentally, emotionally. And it feels like there's no way back. But there always is. You can stop. You can breathe. You can turn around. Even if it feels hard. Even if it feels late. It's not too late. Not while you're still here. Not while you can still choose. And that choice might be small, might be quiet, but it matters. Because it leads you back to where you're meant to be. Pause. Breathe. You're still here. The light changes. And you move again. Back on the right road. Not perfect. Not easy. But right. For you. And that's enough. That's always been enough. If today was heavy, if today was hard, and you made it through, that matters. More than you know. Because you stayed, you kept going. You didn't give up. You're still here. And that means there's still more. More road. More miles. More moments. Even if you can't see them yet, they're there. Waiting for you. 1 mile at a time. Just like this. And when you stop, at that final light, take a breath. Look around. You made it. Through another ride. Through another moment. Through another day. And if nobody told you today, I'm glad you're still here. Keep riding. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Just ride. No pressure. No expectations. Just this moment. You made it this far. Keep going. Breathe. One mile at a time. You're still here. And that matters. Keep moving forward. Even slowly. Sometimes silence. Says more. Just stay. Just a little longer. You don't have to figure it all out. Just don't give up. You're closer than you think. Final stretch. If nobody told you today, I'm glad you're still here. Keep riding. We're not done yet.